I still remember the sound my own breath made when his fist cracked against my cheek. Hollow, stunned, like the air had abandoned me. I didn't scream when he slammed my shoulder into the wall. Pain makes its own kind of silence. And when I looked up at him, bleeding, barely able to lift my arm, he said the words that lit the fuse inside me. Should have signed the mortgage. My sister just stood there, her jaw set, her eyes cold, as if watching me crumble was an inconvenience, not a horror. So, I dragged myself out of their house, half blind, barely conscious, and stumbled to the only place I thought I still belonged, my parents' door. I knocked, twice. I actually begged to be let in. Then everything went dark. And what happened after? Even the police needed a moment to collect themselves. Back when I still believed in them. Funny how betrayal often starts with warmth. I met my future brother-in-law when he was still pretending to be harmless. The kind of man who used humor as a shield and beer as a personality. My sister worshipped him. I tolerated him. For her. Back then, she and I were inseparable. Same jokes, same dreams, same stupid belief that family meant protection. We promised each other we'd never let a man wedge silence between us. We kept that promise until the day she let him speak for her. The first cracks, it started small. A question about my savings. A joke about how I owed them for staying at my place once. A comment, pretending to be casual, about how good my credit score must be. Then came the mortgage conversation. They wanted a house they couldn't afford. They wanted me as the guarantor. They framed it as family helping family. I said no. The temperature in the room dropped. My sister blinked at me as though I'd slapped her. But it was the silence after that scared me most. A shared look between them, like they just discovered a new target. Days later, my sister stopped calling. Her husband didn't bother pretending anymore. His jokes turned sharp, ugly, territorial. I felt the shift. Instinct warned me, but I underestimated how far entitlement can push someone. Evidence of the betrayal the night of the assault. I noticed every sign too late. My sister's clipped tone. His smirk when I arrived. The mortgage papers conveniently placed on the table. I didn't sign. He didn't wait. His rage was immediate, rehearsed, like hitting me was part of their contingency plan. I remember thinking, even as I bled, that betrayal from strangers hurts less than betrayal wrapped in shared blood. The shift. When vengeance chose me when I woke in the ER, my first emotion wasn't fear. It wasn't sorrow. It was clarity. A cold, precise alignment of every broken piece inside me. They wanted me weakened, dependent, cornered into signing away my security. They thought violence would scare me into obedience. They misunderstood me entirely. I didn't confront them. I didn't scream on social media. I didn't call my sister. I called a lawyer, then another, then a detective quietly off the record. And I waited. I documented everything, every bruise, every medical report, every message they'd sent before the assault. I retrieved CCTV footage from a neighbor's camera, caught the moment I stumbled out of their house. I filed a police report the same day I was discharged. But I didn't stop there. I requested a restraining order. I froze any shared financial ties they might try to exploit. I sent their mortgage request email thread to the authorities. I handed over the informal voice notes where he said I'd better sign soon. Piece by piece, I built a case so airtight it suffocated. Then I delivered the final strike. I told the officers exactly where they could find him. They arrested him at work. Middle of the afternoon. Customers watching. My sister screaming his name like she couldn't recognize the monster she helped create. When she found out I was the complainant, she tried to call me. 16 times. I didn't answer. I let my lawyer speak for me. Assault with intent to cause serious harm. Coercion. Financial intimidation. Threats. Resisting during arrest. The list of charges was longer than the mortgage contract. When the officers came to take my official statement, one of them, tough, stone-faced, paused. "Ma'am, what they did. No one deserves that." But I wasn't crying. I was calm. This wasn't grief. This was justice unfolding like a blade. A week later, my sister showed up at my parents' house. the same door I collapsed at. Her face was swollen from crying. She didn't ask how I was. She didn't apologize. She asked why I'd ruined her life. I looked her dead in the eye. You ruined it yourself when you watched him hit me. She opened her mouth, closed it. The truth finally cornered her. For the first time in years, she had no script. And I realized something important. She wasn't looking for forgiveness. She was looking for control. So I took that from her too. I'm done, I said. With you. With him. With protecting people who'd rather watch me bleed. I shut the door in her face. The sound was softer than his punch, but infinitely more final. He's facing trial now. She's living with the consequences of the man she defended. And me? My shoulder healed. My face healed. But it's the silence that feels different now. It's mine. Not the silence of fear. Not the silence of betrayal. A silence earned, crafted, like the ending of a long, calculated operation. I didn't win by hitting back. I won by refusing to stay broken. And sometimes the sharpest revenge isn't vengeance at all. It's surviving louder than they expected.